Ready? Alright.
Never will I leave your side. Never will I turn my back on you or stand and watch you fight. I'll never will ignore your cry. No girlfriend can take your stripe or wear your heels. That's not.
We're fully active right now.
Say your boy come far. Your friend them must have said your boy turn star. Mommy a general and you can't punk her. Love me mother, watch on your talk about her. See if no you get your house.
You know this your boy Gyalis day. We're fully active, Gyalis and the Baddies we here. We're gonna different vibe for y'all today. We celebrate Mother's Day. We got two special ladies in the building. We got two special ladies in the building right now, just chilling and vibing. But right now, like we said, go and share the live. Everybody rolling.
Remember saying you're dead from the start. You can't think about money until I listen. Never will I
you can't. Remember that day song I'm
turn my back.
Where you listen?
You are stand and watch you fight. I'll never will ignore your cry. Now shuffle my one mother to the side. Anybody know like that can't take your mind.
What's the man? Where would I be? Where would I be? Where would I be without my mama?
Share the live.
Mommy, me love you, there's nothing I'd put above you. No house, nor no girl, nor no car. Stand firm in my life, nothing about you. From a barn, me and you apart. Mommy, I'm a princess, mommy, I'm a dance. First lady in my life, a girl love you understand. Special dedication to the big woman. From your love, your mama, let me see your hand. So stop long for your mama, light up for your. Where would I be? Love, where would I be? Where would I be without my mama? Mommy, me love you, there's nothing I'd put above you. No house, nor no girl, nor no car. Stand firm in my life, nothing about you. From a barn, me and you apart. Mommy, I'm a princess, mommy, I'm a dance. First lady in my life, girl, love you understand.
Everybody a check in, man. Everybody a check in. You check the chat.
From your love, your mama, let me see your hand. So stop long for your mama, light up for your mama. Select and you better pull up the one you for your mama. Proud of your mama, sing loud for your mama. Yeah, I make you know you're happy. She bring you come here. From your heart, let me sing this one. From your love, your mama, like this man. There's no one like my mama, no. Mama never had it easy at times. Sometimes she cried. Many days I don't know how we survive. She said, no worry, it will be fine. We held on cause of mama's teachings. And in the scripture she blessed her believes in. Real thing, if I never mama, I wouldn't believe it. So stop long for your mama, light up for your mama. Select and you better pull up the one you for your mama. Proud of your mama, sing loud for your mama. Yeah, I make you know you're happy. She bring you come here. From your heart, tell me sing this one. From your love, your mama like this man. There's no one like my mama, no. Hey, yo, how come my mama this, yes, how come my mama this? You will get my first and my last, yes, all of this. How come my mama this, yes, how come my mama this? Anything you want, you want get this, I will promise. So anything you want, anything at all, anything you need, mama don't pray for God. And this your greatest advice. Light up for your mama. Select and you better pull up the one for your mama. Roll and your mama. Sing for your mama. I make you know you're happy. She bring you from your heart. From your heart, tell me sing one. From your mama like this man. Yeah.
Don't worry, mommy, things so fine. Me a step up in a life. Me so remember them days, yeah. Like once upon a time. Like once upon a time. Let me open up the door, please, now. Me know you are crying at the bathroom. One day we are gonna have everything we need. Swear for me heart soon. But when me open up the door, please, now. The loving of me heart, see you can't move. One day we are gonna have everything we need. Swear for me heart soon. Me see Benz on TV. Mommy, why we don't have none? Mommy, why we poor and them rich? When me get big, me we are change it. Daddy food look deep on the place. Just watch Matrix. Wish we could have fly go a moon on a spaceship. But mankind I got dead with the same can't fight it. Me open up the door, please now. Me know you are crying at the bathroom. One day we are going to everything.
We're fully active.
For me heart soon.
Thank you for everybody that's tuning in. We're there.
Me heart for your camel. One day we are going to everything we need. Save for me heart soon. Rich man live life like kings. My one shot nights work. What the price I forget to youth life worth. Mommy want me to save me for that church. Want a house first. Them say it is a white man's world, but me stand up on my dirt. Bad mind block the road for me divert. Me no care which color them come.
Share the life. I like the life. Like the video.
Open the door, please now. Me know you are crying at the bathroom. One day we are gonna have everything we need. Save for me heart soon. Roll me open up the door, please now. The loving of me heart for your camel. One day we are gonna have everything we need. Save for me heart soon.
My mama, she don't want me no more.
Too bad. Alright, level the tune. Let me just get to it. Everybody, thank you for tuning in to another Sunday of Gyalis and the Baddies. And as you can see, we have some. You guys are still baddies because you guys was baddies back in your day.
No, never.
Never? Never a baddie?
Always goodies.
Me don't believe that. Cause we there, we born.
Always goodies.
Goodies don't got babies.
Not true.
JK. But we here with some beautiful ladies today. It's Mother's Day, and I have two of my. Well, my mom is here, and my second mom is here, and they're my hosts for today because it's Mother's Day, and like I got some Q&A for them just to share shortly some of their stories and what's going on. And I'm gonna have some personal questions that hopefully they can answer, and through them interacting, hopefully some new mothers or young mothers could see and learn type of vibe. So this is what this episode is kind of about. But before we get to that, a quick shout out to some of our sponsors. We got D&K Catering, One Love Window Cleaning, New York Stylies, and Mr. All In and the Livevybz production. And we got shout out to everybody in the chat right now. I can't see it right now, but shout out to everybody in the chat. And definitely a birthday shout out. Who we got for birthday? We got Fireboss birthday was last night. So shout out to DJ Fireboss. And we got, today's my cousin Taj's birthday. Taj, if y'all watch, happy birthday. And who else got a birthday? Anybody got any birthdays y'all want to shout out?
I've got plenty of birthdays.
Go ahead, shout out anybody.
For whatever
birthday.
reason,
Just go ahead, let them
June
up.
is birthday.
Well, my birthday's coming up on
Wait,
Wednesday.
no, mommy.
Leave me alone. It's anybody
you
for
heard it.
birthday.
But you know, me do it for me special. That's why me ask anybody. You're supposed to give anybody. Wait now. But go ahead, you know.
I've got a bunch of cousins who celebrated birthdays this month. Alike, Michelle, in Florida. Elise also had a birthday. My brother has a birthday coming up on the 17th. Happy birthday to you guys. And of course, my son has a birthday coming up the 31st. Supposed to be a big thing.
Uncle Mikey.
And then following will be mine. Go ahead, Mish.
And then next Wednesday, well this Wednesday, because we start early, right? The Queen herself, Mommy Dearest, she her birthday Wednesday. Me know she got there at work, but we try to figure something out, you know what I mean? But we make sure do what she want to do, and then we catch up with her. But we got something in store by the end of the month, just so we can say. So happy early birthday, Mommy, on this program. So for that, we're gonna have our cups up.
These are cups.
Alright, wake up, glasses. So we're gonna give a toast for one. We was here last week and we're here again this week, and a special birthday toast for my mom and everybody else who's celebrating their birthday in May.
Alright, happy birthday, guys.
Thank you.
It's non-alcoholic, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay, non-alcoholic.
A fruit wine.
I'm going to work.
But like I said, and you're my mom, but introduce yourself so the people could know. Hang up if know who you are.
Well, my name is Michelle Brown. I was born in Jamaica. 1900. I won't tell the year. You guessed it. And for a beautiful childhood, that set me to who I am today. I have 3 beautiful children. Jay is the oldest. He is 45.
I love it.
Vaughn,
Hey, yo.
my baby girl Kaya, my husband Prince or Anthony Brown. And I moved here in 2008. And, you know, not to say for a better life, but to, you know, to what life has to offer, bring my 2 boys with me. And thank God they're here. We're thick as thieves. And, you know, Kaya came along. We're all thick as thieves. Beautiful family, happy family. And, you know, I'm always there for them, no matter what. I'm always there for them. That's the mom that I am.
Don't forget the grandkids.
Oh, Jesus! And I have 2 beautiful granddaughters.
That's right. That's right.
Ari and Ren, beautiful, bring me joy. I love them so much.
That's right. And for you guys who don't know me, I am Desiree, otherwise known to a lot of these guys as Mom, Mummy, and to some family they call me Auntie P. I am mother of 1 boy and a granddaughter of also 1 girl.
Yeah.
I have been in Rochester for quite a few years, so I've seen a lot that's been happening in Rochester. So I am appreciative of this moment. I wish I had more time so we could actually talk about this, but I'm appreciative of this and where this is headed.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, and y'all know how my week went, type, because if y'all watch Friday night type stuff, but yeah. But to get into it, like I said, we celebrating Mother's Day, and these 2 women, I invited more of women to me that I looked up to as mothers, but they obviously got Mother's Day planned with their family and stuff. But for Mother's Day, like I said, I just want to show my appreciation to y'all through this episode while learning to settle some differences that we have. And, you know, sometimes we have different opinions on certain things type of vibe. But just to get into it, Mother's Day, and the first question I would have for you guys is like, how was it for the first time, the motherhood process? Like, for example, when you found out you were going to be first-time mother, what was the first thought?
Well, for me, I was a little bit scared, but, you know, I had the support of my family and all of that, so it was pretty easy for me. And when Jay was born, he was, 9 pounds, 8 ounces, around there. He was a beautiful young baby boy. And Vaughn was 10 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah, when he was born too. And yeah. So motherhood for me, sometimes I would say I was a single mother. Most of the time, I was a single mother, but I work hard. And thank God I accomplished, and I raised them well, along with my sister Nadine and my mother, Mama Dar, and all of my sisters.
The village.
You know, the village helped me to raise them, and thank God they've never been disrespectful.
That's it.
And, you know, the manners, but they're being loved from, you know, from their babies right now until now. They're loved because of the manners and the respect they have for their elders. And, you know, if that wasn't instilled in them, you know, it couldn't have shown. So, you know, I thank God for my mother, who taught me love and respect, that I could pass it on to them, to know when they, you know, get married, and so they, you know, that's how they would treat their wife. You know, so, you know, you have to instill values and attitude in your children, and most importantly, always put God in their life.
Absolutely.
So for you, what was you feeling, or what were you thinking when you found out you were gonna have a baby?
So me having a baby is something that I wanted, and it's something that I've wanted for a very long time. I lost my mom when I was young. I was a teenager when my mom passed. So having a kid at a young age was not an option. Option was to go and work, finish school, to where I can take care of a child. Like Michelle said, she was a single mom most of the time. So that's the one thing that's prominent with us women is the men are not guaranteed, and that is really, really sad. So I put myself in a situation where I was able to take care of the child just in case dad wasn't around, and it just turned out that dad wasn't around, being a single mom. But it was something that I wanted. It's something that I looked forward to, and to me, I say every day is Mother's Day. Every day.
Every day.
Factual, because you can't take it back once it happens.
Absolutely.
So for one of the things y'all said is stuff that y'all had to do. What are some of the sacrifices you would say you couldn't do anymore, you had to give up because now you're a mother?
Sacrifice.
Like certain things that you had to just cut completely, and things you had to gradually step back now because it would affect you being a mother.
Well, for me, I didn't have to sacrifice nothing because, as I said, I had the help. So I worked a lot and to take care of my family. So I didn't have to really sacrifice nothing.
I sacrificed time.
Mm-hmm.
I had time to party. I had time to go shopping. I had time to go hang out and, shoot the breeze. I was very spontaneous in I want to take a trip, and I would go,
Mm-hmm.
And then when baby came along, it was like, wait a minute, I can't do this anymore, So I think that was my sacrifice, but I would do it again right now if that ever comes up, because I think being present in your child's life is more important than anything. So those sacrifices, and that was nothing. He got to the point where when he was older, we were taking those spontaneous trips and we were on the road, So I remember he was one, and him and I were driving to New York City. Next thing you know, we're in Florida. Spontaneous trips.
All right, so I asked about the things you had. What new knowledge did you gain from being a mother? You know how some things they say you'll know once you get there? Mm-hmm. What were some of those things for y'all that were eye openers? Being a new mother, oh, that's what this mean, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things that people talk about is again time, and again, no sleep, and the child comes first. Prior to motherhood, I felt like I was selfish. It was all about me. It's only me. Then this little child, don't have anything other than me. So now I have to turn around and be there for him, be his end all. So I just learned to be less selfish because I had to put him before me. I had to take care of his needs before I took care of my needs.
Well, for me, I had a lot of help, both on his dad's side and my side. I had a lot of help, so I had to just keep going. With both of them, I had help with both of them. Mm-hmm. With on the dad's side with the family, So that wasn't a issue for me. And my sister in England, before Vaughn was here, and Jay, I love my sister dearly. She would help me with Jay, take Jay anywhere she's going, and all of that. So as I said, I didn't really have to sacrifice a lot to take care of them. We wishing that the dad was there too, but on Jay's side, his dad's family, they were there 100%. I can't deny that, but he wasn't there.
Yeah, shouts out to them.
Vaughn, his grandfather, his grandmother's dad, they were there for him. They were there 100%. So it's not like I had to give up work to take care of them. I'm always working, and people is always there, because they say whatever you put in, that's what you put out. So I'm always this type of person that is a loving person, always take care of others. So my children, they're not wanting of anything. Other people's there taking care of them too. Mm-hmm.
Can you put your phone on silent, please, on the set? Thank you.
And I'm happy for that.
Yeah, so everybody in the chat just tune in, and like I said, we got a Mother's Day special going on. I have my mom on set, and everybody know Uncle Mikey. This is his mom, which is my mom too, because we brothers and stuff. So If you just come in the chat, I want y'all to like the video and tell them Happy Mother's Day. And we doing a Q&A on mothers, just their journey on motherhood, and you can ask them any question in the chat. They'll respond and all that stuff. So we're gonna keep the ball rolling. So my next question for you guys would be, as mothers, has there any point came where you feel like, I don't want to do this anymore? How many times y'all got to that moment? Like,
You know what? I don't think I've ever gotten to that moment. I mean, yes, things were challenging being a single mom. I mean, I had a village as well. But, you know, it was him and I most of the time. But I don't think I ever got to that point where I don't want to do this again. I wish I had more than him. But, nope, if I had to do it again, I would do it another million times, because it's just watching him grow, watching you guys grow, you know, I mean, that just brings joy to me. So no.
What was the question again? My phone distracted me.
Listen, to your journey in motherhood, how many times have you gotten to the point where you feel like it is too much?
You know, to be honest, it's never too much for me. Because being a mother, you have to have that expectation of what is coming and what you're going to get. So it's never too. I never put myself in a position where I'm going to say, oh my God, I can't do this or I can't do that. It's too hard. You know, I need a break or whatever. No. I put myself in that position where whatever challenges come, I face it and I get over the hurdle. So I've never put myself in that position.
All right. Some people in the chat telling y'all Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you.
Guys.
Yeah, so one of my next question is, well, that would be for me. I would say your first kid, but since you only have one, so what has your kid ever done that make you look at him like, is this my kid, my son or my child? That make you question, like, the question? Let's say, what one message you would share with young mothers facing challenges in their children's behaviors? Yeah, Carl Matt, thank you for that question, but it's kind of the same thing with me that I just asked.
Jesus
like,
Christ.
When you're raising a child with like behavioral issues, like as it got to that point, how do you deal with that stuff?
No, my son is gonna drop me
So one of
off.
the things that
My son is gonna drop me
and I stand firm on is consistency. You have to be consistent with your rules when it comes to the child and their behavior. So if you have to put yourself on timeout, then you put yourself on timeout to make sure that that child stays in timeout. And then it doesn't matter how old this kid is. My granddaughter is 2 years old. Well, 2.5 years old. And I sit down and, you know, like after something bad, after something that I have to put her on timeout for, I sit down and we talk about it. You know, grandma's not really happy. You shouldn't have done that. And just so keep that dialogue open and just be consistent. You can't be this way this time and that way the next time. You have to be consistent. If you say no, no means no. You know, you can't be no this minute and then next minute maybe it's a yes, then it's a no. So you've got to be consistent with that.
For me, I grew up in a very tight Christian home. And, you know, misbehaving wasn't an option. So, you know, I instilled that in my children. And thank God, not bored.
That's not bored, right? Here.
Not glass. They haven't strayed away, you know. So they say teach up the child, you know, and in the good way. When they would depart, they might stray a little bit, but they will come back. And you know, one thing I do, I instill God in them from an early age. You know, I talk to them about God, and God bless my mother. Oh my God, God bless her. You know,
Shouts out, Granny.
You know, we instill God in them and we teach them well. We teach them well not to do the wrong thing. You know, my husband tell my sons, you know, you can, you know, the only time if you get in trouble, get into the good trouble. You know, don't get into the bad trouble that, you know, is gonna haunt you for the rest of your life. You know, so I thank God they're on track, and you know, I pray for them every night. I pray over them, pray over their lives. You know, that God may see them through and bless them and cover them, you know, and protect them, because these are evil days we're living in now. And no matter how old they are,
They still need it.
you have to pray for them, no matter how old they are, because the devil's out there waiting for them to just make a simple slide. You know, that would you know, wreck their lives. But you know, keep praying for your children. Keep praying for your children, and that's what works. Prayer.
Yeah, all right. So has there had been any points where your child ever embarrassed you guys, whether personally or in public, and how did you feel and how did you deal with it?
I have to say, he's never embarrassed me in public. He's never embarrassed me at home. It wasn't an option. I mean, he was brought up right. He was brought up with manners. So it just was never an option. So I have to say that it's never happened. I know that I do have family members that have been embarrassed in public, which have intervened in public. Because had that mom got to that child probably wouldn't be alive right now. So I said, no. So I said to her, I said, you should have started this from home. So my nephew was always a slapper, and he was always hitting face. And I told her, I said, you need to stop that. You know, he can't be hitting you in the face, because he's gonna hit you in the face at one point where it's gonna embarrass you. We were in a restaurant in Florida, and he slapped the heck out of her in the restaurant. You know, and she would have killed him had I not said, oh no, you're not going to touch him now. You know, so you've got to start them out right. It happens one time, don't let it happen again. Make sure that they know that that is wrong. So no, me getting embarrassed, not happening.
So, you know, just because you
How
said...
about you, mommy?
No. They don't dare. No, they never.
Same thing with the grandkids. No.
They never try that, and they never embarrass me.
No.
Hey, because as far as for mom, for both you guys, we don't really harbor negative energy, so we don't have it in us to push it back, you know, but we do have our disagreements, but you know, it's handled like in a conversation or a debate rather than, you know what I mean? But yeah, so my next question for you guys is motherhood. When it got to, well, you guys we're all adults now, except for Kaya, but when we finally got to the point where we like on our own or at the house, how did y'all truly feel? Because
for me,
because I know sometimes y'all, you know, I know you.
For
sometimes
me, I miss you guys so much. I wish you guys were still there. You know, I wish you guys were still at home, no matter what. You know, all I can say, I miss you guys so much. I wish you were still home.
Well, I say I'm living with mine. He's not living with me. I'm living with him. And when he's not home, because he is on the road a lot, when he's not home, I do miss that piece. And it's just good to have, you know, the company there at the house. So yeah, I enjoy seeing him. The baby is there a lot, and I enjoy that. So I don't know. I think I like me being with him. I think I like that.
Yeah, I love them being around. I love them being around. Yeah, because like for Vaughn, you know, I was at work and he came and he cleaned the aquarium and, you know, all those sort of stuff. You know, and, you know, it's nice when they're around you.
Right.
It's not, they come to the house and shop like a supermarket. You know, and, you know, when I cook, you know, I cook for them too. I don't cook because there's only 3 of us living at the house. I cook like it's 5 of us living at the house. So whenever time I cook, their dinner is always at the house. And they come there and grocery shop, laundry.
What do you mean?
You know, and all those. So even though they're there, they're still there, you know, but I wish they would be there every day.
All right,
you know?
So I asked that question to ask because, you know, there's a stigma on parents. Once if it's not a behavioral issue, but other than that, you know, the stigma we have once you get to this age, you gotta get out and go figure it out. What do you say? What do you guys stance on that?
Well, for me,
What's the age limit for y'all to still have y'all kids around? Like,
if it was me alone, it would be like forever. But hey, but you know, sometimes you have to push for them to go know what life is about. And thank God, my two boys are out of the house now, and I'm proud of them. They know what life is like. They know what is responsibility, and they know what is to take care of a family. So, when you push them to fight life and go fight life,
you drop a bomb for that?
you know.
Oh.
And I said, we always tell them, me and my husband always tell them, you know, go out there, fight life. If you make a mistake, you know, your house is always there. Your room is still there. You understand? Everything is still there. But go out there and see what life is like. You know, if you buck your toe, we are here.
Well,
One minute. I remember when Jay used to work at McDonald's while going to school, and
Me?
no, it was Vaughn.
Oh, come
I'm
in some-
sorry,
okay.
Vaughn. And you know, he would give us, like, when he get his pay, he would give us like $30 and all of that, and we wouldn't use it. We put it up. We put it up. Remember, Vaughn? And one day we just add up everything and give it back to him. You know, we didn't use it. You know, that's what we say. You know, that's responsibility. You know, yeah. So.
and that's what we as parents should do. We shouldn't enable them. We shouldn't coddle them too much. If they're going to live at home, absolutely. I don't see a problem with it at all, but they should contribute.
Yeah, share responsibility.
And exactly. They should be out there being productive human beings. Yes, it is easier because the cost of rent, the cost of housing, the cost of everything out there is really, really high now. So, I mean, if you can promote independence with them going to work while still staying at home, hey, all the better. So I think that stigma is something that should be lifted.
Looked at or
Yeah, I think it should be lifted. You can still be home, living under the same roof as your parents, but being productive human beings, you know, growing up, you know, saving. So when you do leave home, you don't have to get a mortgage. You could just buy the house straight up, you know, that kind of stuff.
Alright, that's dope. So, alright, so as far as raising your children, me and my mom, she had a big thing on me on having too much friends. And sometimes you guys do have a keen eye for who your children friends are. But
Not
sometimes,
sometimes, most of the times. Most of the time.
but sometimes some of the stuff y'all say, it really don't happen until years.
But it does happen.
You know what I mean? So
But it
it
does
just like, I don't know. We really can't say if it's that or something happened in that phase in his life where it caused, or y'all really could. You know what I mean? So.
Sometimes we see things, but you don't see.
But when
Until
y'all
it happens.
when y'all tell us that, y'all not telling us like that. Y'all just saying I don't like him. And to us it's like, oh, you don't even know the guy or the person. But so I say that to say the question is, so on your child's friend, how do you monitor your children? How good? Give advice on how to monitor your children's friends and how to make sure she is around good people and stuff like that.
Well, as for you guys, I know all your friends. You take them to the house, and I know them, and they're very respectful. They're very manageable. They address me as Mrs. Brown and all of that. So all of them with Von J, when their friends come to the house right now, they're all my children because they love me so much, and I love them, and I take them as so. And I've never said like, Jay, I don't like that one, you know, or Vaughn, I don't like that one. You know, they know how to choose their friends. They know how to choose their friends.
Because they know what we expect.
They know our standard.
They know
Yeah.
our standards. They know who we're gonna allow in the house. My house, even apartment, was open to girls, boys. I mean, you guys were there, and my only rule was, I mean, Vaughn used to come there and he would cook. I would come home from work and that place be smelling like, what happened in here, you know? But the only thing that I said is, you know, no closed rooms. The doors have to be
no
open.
more locked doors.
No closed doors. You know, but I mean, we're talking, you know, like people like PJ, Ariel. I mean, they were
Shouts out to the gang.
one little small bedroom, one bed, and 6-7 kids. They're just sitting in there.
Music.
Some of them all on their own phones doing whatever, but they're
Music.
just hanging. And that was great. I enjoyed that because you know what? I knew where they were.
Yes.
I knew they were safe. Their parents knew where they were and knew they were safe. And that's what we need to do. We don't have to hover over them and, micromanage their lives. We just have to set that standards. And once we set that standard, this is how they're going to be.
Oh, that's dope. Well, like for me, like some of the stuff that y'all warn us about, it's not then we experience the.
It's now that you're on your own.
Yeah, it's like later on in life. So
say, okay.
some of the things.
Like what, Jay?
For example, like I said, when you say certain people we around, that could be one, or spending habits is one.
That's huge.
Yeah, certain purchases we make now.
That's huge.
For me, I would say, because you guys got most of your communication habits from your parents, so sometimes when we do certain things that happen, I feel like it happens off just reaction, where I would say for you guys is different, but back earlier, it was just like talking to our grandparents or seeing how y'all used to, or tell us how they were with y'all. But as time progressed, you guys were more like, we could sit down and talk about anything and have a different. So how was that transition? Did you notice that transition with you and how you delivered your message to whatever you want to tell your children?
Well, I think he kept me real with that transition.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I could not put my expectation as far as how he was going to live his life on him. I remember this kid. Now, guys, you guys don't know me, but I'm a registered nurse. I've been a nurse for quite a few years, older than you guys. And I'm in management, have dealt with a lot of people. And my son said to me, Mom, I'm not going to work hard. I'm going to work smart. You choose to work hard, you work hard, but I'm not going to go down your path. And it opened my eyes to say, wait a minute, he can really do this without going to college. He can be the entrepreneur out there that's doing his thing. So guess what? I think he was... I know definitely he was 3 years old when we went into Kmart on Hudson Avenue, and this kid said he wanted a piece of $74 equipment. It was a piece of DJ equipment, and he purchased that. I purchased that $74 piece of DJ equipment for him. Then I bought him a desktop because I wanted him to learn computer and learn and maneuver his way around. Next thing I know, that piece of equipment was hooked up to this thing. This kid is like 4 years old. I'm like, wait a minute, where is this going? And then he asked for more DJ equipment as he got older. I mean, the biggest piece he asked me for, I think it was $600. I'm like, Malik, come on. Or should I say $5?
Mikey,
He don't
Uncle
like his
Mikey,
name.
yeah, Uncle Mikey.
I'm like,
We can't name drop on here like that, Mama.
I'm like, come
We got
on.
street rep. Come on, man. We
So
got
he's
street
like
cred.
$600 piece of equipment, and I look at him now, and he's buying
They wanted the Baddies.
$1,000 piece of equipment, starting from this. So he said, Mom, I am not gonna work hard. I'm gonna work smart. So he retrained me on how I was thinking, because I'm thinking, you need to go to college, you need to go do this, you need to go do that. And he's like, no, that's not the way. And he's opened my eyes to being an entrepreneur, not being college educated, but I shouldn't say street educated, but
Just understanding the world.
that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Cause I have this aunt that always telling me that school is the way, but I couldn't. For me, it got to a point where I just didn't. It didn't make sense to me, because I had this one teacher. Shout out to Mr. Luciani. When I graduated and was old enough, me and him hung out, and we were just talking about real, and he was just telling me about his life problems. I'm like, I'm going through the same things, and he's a teacher, and I graduated, and he's still a teacher, and he's telling me some of the. So it made me then realize, like, everybody's just really in a character. Once you put on a uniform, you're just playing a character. So once you out in the world and understand the world, it's gonna be more comfortable, and you could just really do what you want, in a sense.
I say, so long as you're doing things
that you can, that can help you later on in life.
Yes,
right.
yes.
When you get old, you have
definitely.
something. So you know what, because a lot of people don't cut out for college.
right.
Sometimes you go to
money.
college for 10, 15 years, you hold that $1,000 student loan, and you're just like down the bottom.
Right.
Sometimes you don't go to college, you make it more out there than sometimes you're in college. As I said, some people don't cut out for college.
Yeah,
But you
just
have to be
whatever you want.
smart.
You have to
Street
be smart.
smart. You have to be
Right.
smart in whatever you do. Make sure you put away, you save. No matter how much, make sure if you work $10, make sure to have a pan, drop $1 in there every time you get paid, and that adds up. It adds up. For me, I'm a workaholic, and I'm like a mother hen. You know, I'm like a mother hen, and I work hard. And I said, when you work and see what you work, and you can take a vacation, you can do this, you can do it. It makes you joyful. It gives you that joy, that peace of mind. You don't have to depend on anybody to say, lend me this or lend me that till next week or lend me this till next week. No, I don't borrow. I don't beg. I always thank God for providing for me. And to help me so I can help others. In certain circumstances.
Alright, so what can y'all tell because for Mother's Day, I feel like Mother's Day should be mostly celebrated for single mothers or who had to deal with that journey on their own, right? Hear me out.
Okay.
Hear me out, because I like to do stuff different.
Go
I'm gonna
ahead,
follow
let me
rules.
hear you.
Rather than if you're a mother that had the father with you, have a Parents' Day.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Have a Parents' Day.
Okay.
Then the Mother's Day would be for the single mom who figured it out on their own. Because Mother's Day.
No, once you
I don't agree
give
with
birth to a child, you're a mother.
Yeah, I mean, I take with that from you, but
You're a mother.
but
Whether you're with a husband or you're with a boyfriend.
no, but I feel like, or if you could call it changes from Mother's Day to birthday, then.
No, or you're single.
No, but
no matter what it is, you are.
no,
a
me not take with that. But me I say if you do, I feel like it's a different energy when you're a single mom rather than a mom with a spouse.
Do you know moms with spouses are like sometimes
Single mother.
because the spouse is out there and they are working. They don't
You
know
have to
how
be-
the
you have to
house
be home
work
cooking,
is
cleaning,
done. They
washing
don't know
babies, everything.
Exactly. Even though they may be a mom, a stay-at-home mom, they're doing everything for this child. So I don't
And
think
the
you should
husband.
take away from that at all. Yes, the husband is out there providing financially, but they're not necessarily there.
Yeah,
for,
but that's a part of that group, so I can't really say that discredit that. Once you have a man in the house and he's playing a part that goes with that role, that's all one thing. So I can't really say that's what you sign up for as a wife. So I'm not about to make it seem like what the man is doing is.
Once you give birth, you're a
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
For
So,
mothers.
yeah, but for the single mom, so what would we call the one for the single moms who figured it out on their own?
mothers.
Congratulations, you did a
Congratulations, mother.
great job,
Yeah.
Mama.
Yeah, so for those mothers, give them some tips. Give them some tips, because
Oh,
you guys
wow.
are the queen of that. So give them some tips, because I know we
Well,
got.
for me, being a single mother for my two boys, partially. As I said, I had the community with me, and I had a lot of support. I work hard. I didn't let them want nothing. They can contest to that. They will never fall short of food, clothes, nothing. I
She never
always-
bought me a bicycle, guys. I always wanted a bicycle. She never bought me a bicycle.
Uh-oh.
let me give you experience on that bicycle.
She never bought me a bicycle.
He got a bicycle, right? And I was at work, and I got a phone call. That boy went on the bicycle flipped him across the main road over into a wire fence.
Oh,
When they called me, it's like my belly dropped to the ground.
I was young.
Why would you give him a
why would you
bicycle?
give him one?
I needed to try again.
Right? to do a second death. And I was just looking at the main road, and the cars coming up and down, and him flip across the road, something flip him up, and I said, hell no. No.
There.
But he got everything else in life except for my bicycle.
I needed a bike.
But now he has
I was running behind all my friends.
What I would have to say to the single moms out there that's trying to make it, get yourself a village, get yourself a community. Don't think that you have to do this by yourself. You know, make sure you, and I mean, it's not something that I did. My son is gonna be 28 this year, so it's not something that I did. I worked, you know, like a lot during this. Shut up. I worked a lot.
I love that.
I worked a lot during his first years, but you know, take some time out for yourself as well. One of the things that I used to do as, you know, things started to get a little rough for me was I would leave him with my aunt. I'm like, listen, I need a break. Let me get a weekend. And I would go check myself in a hotel for a weekend. I'd go get a massage, do a spa day, do something just to kind of refresh and come back home and do this again. So don't think that you have to do it all by yourself, because it is hard, you know. So try and get yourself and make sure your kids are around people that are positive people that you want them to be around, not people that they necessarily want to be around.
And all
exactly. People who are gonna raise them up right.
Yep.
You know, just give them a chance, because I mean, you know, these kids did not ask to be brought into this world. We chose to bring them here, so the best we can do is just do the best for them. So for the single moms, get yourself a village, get yourself a community, somebody that you can entrust your child to help raise them up.
All right, ladies, y'all hear that? Well, if you're out there thugging it on your own, just build like they said, build yourself a little community and all of that stuff. And
if you're in Rochester, reach out to me. I'll gladly help.
Right.
Yeah, I have a big backyard.
So I guess that must be a daycare or something they plan on.
No, I'm not a daycare either.
So I'm just trying to.
Just pass through.
Not a daycare.
But anyway, ladies, before we sign out, I got y'all some roses for each of y'all kids that y'all have. So y'all can divvy them up. I had to keep them in water so they won't dry up. And so that's for the amount of kids y'all have. So yeah.
I just have one.
No.
But I have one, two.
Oh, don't do that to the pan camera. I intend with the pan.
You know what? Then you need more than this then, because where's PJ? Where's Aria? Where's Arian?
Speak for myself.
No, where's the rest of them? All of them that call me mommy.
Let me tell you, let me do it now. Right, they're stuck in there. Hold on, before we sign out. Me just a call name for who there. Everybody else there, but them I do this for what me I do.
Something?
So you want so they can
Shout out to my sister in England, girl. You know I love you to the bone. Shout out to my mama dar. Shout out
all of the mother them wanna know.
Shout out to Lasmin. Shout out to Camille.
Yeah, shout out
to P, Chantel.
Room.
Take that out your mouth.
Lord. Until Lynn.
This show I go on.
Oh my God! Just shout out to all my peeps. All right.
And to all the mothers out there, whether you're a married mother or a single mom, just shout out and continue doing what you're doing. You know, we need to be there for our kids, and we need to be there for our neighbors' kids. You know, we need to raise them up right, because the path that these kids are going towards right now is not a positive one, and we need to bring that positive back.
Yeah.
All right.
And all I said before, just always instill God in them.
Yes, right.
Pray over your children.
Yes.
Pray for them every day and bless them every day. That is what carry them through life. Prayer. And remember, put God in everything.
All right, mommy. So this is for Kaya. The one picnic. That's the pink for girl. This is for Uncle Mikey.
Happy Mother's Day.
Oh, thank you.
And this is for me.
Thank you. That's for me, Arena. Mommy already got her other present.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, and who much am I picking? This is for Pundai.
Pundai and you.
And we don't sorry, Mikey. Then. Me give for Mikey me Pundai.
Kaya.
Me. Pundai.
One.
So see they know. You're 3 boy and 1 boy and 2 1 girl and 3 2 boy. So
thank you.
Everybody again.
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys.
Well, I would love to have you guys in another episode if you guys ever have the time to come kick it with me. So I'm here every Sunday. So
I only have one request.
talk to me.
Be on time.
Damn. Producer. You hear that? Because I'm on the camera, so I'm getting the back end of that. So that's a team thing. That's a team
And I
thing.
only have one request. I like your programs on Friday.
Mommy.
No,
Mommy.
I'm your mother.
Jeez,
Today's Mother's Day.
Lord
I like your
mercy.
programs on Friday, but you
Yo.
gotta clean it up.
Oh,
and
me-
I'm gonna pop in on you guys one Friday, and I'm gonna overhaul everything.
A bookkeep on Friday, and I know we know a bookkeep.
You need to clean it up on Friday. It's
No.
a good program, but you need to clean it up
Yeah,
on
but
Friday.
Friday is a detox day.
Clean it up.
And then, so your son
But
will
you
come
see,
out clean.
mothers watch it too.
You can clean it up.
Yeah, but
And sometimes you say, is that my child? Oh no.
Well, that's why I say we're going now. We're understand the world and learn to some of the things that we want to vex about is just life. You didn't even go to that part in life to understand it's just living, you know? But we're not going to go there. That's for the next episode in the forward back. So, like we said, people, thanks for tuning in. This is your boy, Gyalis J.
Desiree.
Mrs. Brown, Michelle, Shelley.
Alright, and this is another episode of Gyalis and the Beautiful Mothers.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Happy Mother's Day.
Yeah, and we're going to play some music and tune out and catch us this Friday again for Vybz Friday and next Sunday.
Where I'm gonna pop in.
Gyalis and the Baddies. And you don't know, everybody, you don't know, like, subscribe, share.
You're all I always want.
Turn up your tune.
Time for work.
Remove your barriers. When times get rough and times get tough, I'll be your warrior. God sent you to me, and I will protect you. God sent you to me. You will never be lonely. As long as I can breathe, and you got me, 'cause we are meant to be. God sent you to me. You're the love of my life, and if I had one wish in the world, it would be for you and I to stay together forever. I'll watch you grow each and every day, my driving force. I have to say I love you so. Yeah, I'm proud to tell the world, and I will protect you.
Check.
You will never be lonely.
Again, thanks to you everybody for tuning in. Another episode of Gyalis and the Baddies. This is your boy Gyalis J. Catch us next Sunday. We here at 2 p.m. And next Sunday is Man of the Month. I don't know who our special guest is yet, but we gonna see. Tune in. If you like the vibe, subscribe. If you like the vibe, subscribe. If you like the vibe.
Mama, yeah. Mama, Miss Jano. Just a little bit longer, mommy, 'cause it soon come, better soon come. Just a little bit longer. All with troubles and with triumphs soon done. Yeah. Me pray to God for make you stronger, mommy, 'cause it soon come, better soon come. Just a little bit longer. All with troubles and with triumphs soon done. I tell you, mama, me woulda give you $1 million for every time you struggle, every perspiration. Mama, you're worth more than $1 trillion. There is nothing I can do to repay you, the great one, mama. Just a little bit longer. Them I play my tune for radio now. I'm getting stronger. Me a voice and next one in the studio now. Me I go use back for the words where you share. Like you never give a man more than what he can bear, mama. Just a little bit longer, mommy, 'cause it soon come, better soon come. Just a little bit longer. All with troubles and with triumphs soon done. Yeah. Me pray to God for make you stronger, mommy, 'cause it soon come, better soon come. Just a little bit longer. All with troubles and with triumphs soon